People often say that if you're young and you're starting out, you should be valuing learning and growth over profits. Today, I'm here to tell you why I'm prioritizing generating revenue in my content creation journey. And hi guys, I am Elena. I started content creation around 11 months ago. And today, I've earned more than $2,000. And by the way, I am literally sitting in a parking lot because I have this side job working at the advancement department at school, and today we're helping out with an event, but there's just some spare time in the middle, so I thought, why not record another video? Alright, let's get right into it. I'm going to be sharing all the streams of income that I had in the past and what my plan is moving forward. And I'm also going to explain why I think that generating revenue is as important as learning and growing in the context of content creation specifically. I know that it's very different for other startups and businesses, but today I'm going to be just focusing on talking about how you can use social media to make money, because this is like my current focus. My very first paycheck came from making Instagram Reels for my school, Babson College, and later on I also contacted another person in the marketing department to make long-form YouTube videos for them, and currently both of these are still ongoing. But I think that finding small partnerships is kind of underrated, because people often think that if you don't have a large following, if you don't have a lot of likes or subscribers so far, you won't be able to get any brand deals. And I think that's a limiting belief, just because there are a lot of brands or just niche corporations and companies where they want a few small partnerships and they want someone to make videos for them, and so if you pitch yourself to them, most of the time it is going to go through. And the second time when I started generating revenue was when I started to partnering with other small brands. So I was able to get a brand deal for my own YouTube channel, and I was meeting with a Babson alum. So if you're in college, remember to take advantage of your alumni network, because going to the same school as a lot of other people who have their own businesses, who are looking for content creators, is very valuable. Really, if you take one advice from this video, it's to always not be afraid to pitch yourself. It's always sell your values and sell your ability, because most of the time when you ask, you get, but if you don't ask, you don't get. And that's also the number one thing that I learned from going through the entire process of from generating $0 to generating over $2,000. All of these deals basically came through because I knew the people and because I was not afraid to pitch myself to them. So I was meeting with this Babson alum, and he had this health tech startup that was it's a product, and they were kind of targeting college students. So I thought that I would be a right fit. And I clearly remember that during the meeting, I silently told myself that I'm not leaving the meeting without making an ask. You have nothing to lose, and so there's so much to gain if you just simply make an ask and be able to provide value. But after that, I was able to get their product that's worth around $300, and there's also a little bit of commission in between. Posted those videos on my own channel and also sent a few to them so that they can use it for their own brand and marketing. And my third one is when I worked for a startup in San Francisco over the summer, and that's because I knew the founder through Twitter, and I also had a few friends who worked for her before or who are still working for her right now. It didn't end up working out for the long term, but for that week I got $400, and that's also a small part of what I was able to gain. And the fourth one is when I introduced an editor to another startup who needed an editor to edit their videos, and I think taking the commission in the middle was kind of a huge portion of what I earned within that $2,000 or $2,500. And because I live in a special interest community at Babson, it's called eTower, we also have this thing called Seed Fund every single semester, which means that there's a pot of $10,000, and we get 3 judges who are not related or associated with eTower, so they're not biased, and we can pitch our companies and startups and personal brands to them, and then they'll decide how that $10,000 is split amongst the people who pitched. And I was able to get $500 from that too. So now that I'm thinking about it, maybe my revenue in total is closer to $3,000 than $2,000. But these are basically all the 5 steps that I took to start generating a little bit of revenue. Sorry, I think I'm missing one, and that one that's pretty important too is making UGC content. UGC stands for user generated content, and that's when you make content for a brand to post on their channel, on their official social media page, or sometimes they'll ask you to make an individual page just dedicated to their brand. I did that consistently for 2 months over the summer, and I was able to get this deal also because I knew someone who was starting that UGC initiative, and that entire team found a few creators, including myself. I had a base rate for every single video that I posted. In addition to that, I also had bonuses based on the viewers. Although the results weren't amazing because it was my first deal and I have so much more to grow within content creation, I was able to generate around, I think, $600 to $800. Also, like, I truly need to manage my finances better because I'm really just losing track of how much money I've earned throughout the process. But overall, I would say that I've earned near $3,000 over the past 11 months, and this is the first 11 months of doing content creation too. So I would like to think that in the future, as I become a better content creator and as I build more of a brand and reputation for myself, the sort of income that I get can compound a little bit more. And right now, my biggest focus is on generating content is because, number one, providing that stability for yourself as a content creator kind of enables you to not feel like you're limited by the viewers or by the type of videos that you make. Because if you're not only profiting off of the viewers for every single video, then you can try to experiment with different sort of videos and do whatever you want and follow your creative direction and your personal development to make different videos instead of sticking to one because you know that that's what appeals to your viewers and you can't afford to lose the views. And second of all, I believe that, like, saying that you're learning or saying that you're improving is so nuanced. So I think that you can actually learn a lot through trying to get the brand deals. And this is just beyond making content creation. It's also about pitching yourself to other people, providing value. It's just like a business or like a consulting agency or anything else that you can think of. Like, you're trying to appeal to a group of people and tell them about what you can provide in exchange for money, and it's also based on your performance. So I believe that, like, being able to make videos for other brands and partner with other people teaches you a lot about soft skills, a lot about negotiations, and all of this kind of adds to the competency of a content creator beyond just making videos for yourself. I think adding on to just these 2 points, I also believe that this is going to avoid burnout if you understand that you're generating revenue and if you can see some sort of like a tangible result or like a measurement that you can track over time. And so this is how you can also avoid burnout and keep yourself financially afloat too, because eventually when content creators want to do it full time, I believe this is one of the most important things. If you can't even afford rent or keep yourself afloat, then it's going to be harder to I guess stay in the game and embark on this journey for long enough. Well, this is just based on my personal experience. If you're a content creator, I would love to hear how you're generating revenue currently, as well as like hearing if there are any other streams of income and sources that you guys would suggest for me, because I'm always open to discovering new things within my business and entrepreneurial journey, and I think I'm open-minded enough to really just consider more options if there are. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.